3, 2, 1.
With the sweater.
With the sweater. It's not how it works.
Dang, I gotta post the Carnivore. It was officially 1 month.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is this a nutrition episode?
Yeah, right? I'm a hijacker right now.
With a carnivore diet?
Yeah, it was crazy because after the deadlift, and then I was walking around like 180s.
Yeah.
Low body weight, and then I did a month challenge with Jill, my buddy Jill from the gym, and it was pretty much just like eating cleaner and fasting.
Yeah.
And so there was some change, and then so the start of the carnivore diet, I was like 178, and then I weighed in at like 170, but the before and after I'd look more ripped and even more muscle. So like I lost 8 pounds, but on the before and after it looked like I'm more jacked. So it's like it's burning fat, building muscle, I assume.
Well, take your shirt off for the camera then.
I don't want. You
gotta post the results, dude. No one believes you.
Exactly.
Fix or it didn't happen, dude.
That was 1 month yesterday.
Why don't you cancel or compare it to a vegan diet? Why don't you go all vegan for the next 30 days?
I've tried everything in my life. I was vegan for many of years when I was young.
Really?
Yeah, my mom is.
That's vegetarian.
No, but she's vegan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no dairy. It's even I call it Buddhist vegan's the most strict because there's a lot more restrictions. So
Yeah.
There's no dairy, no eggs, obviously.
Yeah.
And then there's no garlic, no onion. They don't believe in that. And everything's got garlic and onion.
What do
like
they
growing up, it's like you look at a bag of Doritos.
Yeah.
There's onion powder and garlic powder, and we weren't allowed to eat that.
Whoa.
So many years we were eating vegan because it was a religious thing. My mom's Buddhist, like she runs a huge Buddhist temple in Mira Mesa.
Yeah.
Giant
so you could
7-foot
do the
Buddhist statue. I've done it in my life, not like an adult life, but my body's been through.
Couldn't do it.
I've
talking about that yesterday. Like
so
no
much
caffeine.
soy product. Like looking back, we ate a bunch of things that were like meat, like products. Like, oh look, this looks like a shrimp. They stamped a bunch of soy shit, and everywhere we went, we'd have to eat vegan.
Oof. That's so the base of your childhood. That's why you're struggling with gaining body weight, man.
Yeah, well,
Raised on soy.
I joke around about that. I
Really?
stunted my growth.
Yeah, you stunted your growth. That's the word I was looking for. My caffeine's not kicking in. That's what we were talking about yesterday. Imagine no caffeine. The caffeine, what's it called? Fasting. God.
Yeah.
There's no way you could sign me up. No fucking way. 7 days. I think it's supposed to be a solid 7 days is what I read.
Oh, really?
Not 5. Don't cheat like Monday through Friday. Wake up on Saturday and Sunday too, and that's when I have like that warm cup and just chill, like even those days, nothing. I would die.
It's hard. I've tried
biggest migraine.
I've tried to quit coffee many times.
No way. Life's too short.
Yeah, there's the factor of like, yes, I was able to stay off of it for like a couple weeks, maybe even a month at a certain time, but it was such a sad month.
Yeah.
So it's like you can do it, but you can also live in a park and be homeless. Like, I mean, like, is it worth it?
That's what you're saying. It's just the mind over matter part. Like,
yeah, you can do it, but I'm choosing to be sad and not have my luxuries.
It is a nice luxury, dude. Just to be able to grab a quick pick me up, like midday coffee. Like, it's a little joy I get.
Yeah, And you talked about it. If there's enough scientific proof that this coffee's like fucking me up, then
prove me.
Yeah, prove me wrong. Right now it's just coffee.
Well, that's what I was saying. If a doctor was like, dude, if you eat red meat again, 1 bite, you're gonna die, I'd be like, okay, I could go vegetarian, no problem. Can I still have fish? And you'd be like, yeah, fish, chicken, you're all good. I'd be like, cool, no problem.
Yeah, but for you the coffee's a no.
But if he was like, no, you can't even have no fish, no chicken, no turkey, you're just straight vegetarian, I'd be like, okay, I'll do it to live. But if he's like, caffeine, no, I'd be like, just take me out back, bro.
Yeah.
Put me out. There's no way.
The carnivore diet seems, the only thing that was scary in the transition at first was that like the prescription's like meat plus water. Like that's it.
Meat, water,
so
salt.
I love food. I'm like, oh, I can't ever eat tacos or I can't eat Italian food or anything. So that's what kind of gets to you, because it's kind of like someone saying you can't have coffee anymore.
Because this is Sean Baker's, right? Sean Baker's.
He's not the one that, I mean, he I think made it popular because of his episode on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
and then it's.
But he's like the one with science behind it, I guess, because he is an MD.
Yeah, he's a doctor, so
he can deadlift like 700 pounds, I think he said. Maybe 800.
He's okay. So one of the main reasons I'm doing it is that my whole thing with nutrition is that you should figure out what works for you. All right. And so just because someone says that like paleo's good, keto's good, vegan's good, or carnivore's good, it doesn't matter. You have to test it. But you also have to not follow blindly. So if you test something and you're not getting healthier results, you can't stand on the keto fucking soapbox or vegan soapbox and say, man, it's all about vegan, it's all about keto, it's all about paleo. And you're like, you still have certain health issues or conditions.
Psoriasis, but
exactly. Right? It's like I have all these conditions, but yet this is what everyone says and science is proven. So
that's where I picked keto, and I need to reset that again, because it's like like you say, it's a reset.
Yep.
To just like, it's mostly elimination diet, but when you get into that ketosis, I was like doing blood work with it, seeing my blood markers level drop, so I was like, oh shit, well, this one works for me when I'm ready to. But then once I added in weightlifting, I was like,
it's not working.
It's not helping strength. It's not helping mine's recovery, I noticed. So like if I was doing just like, like I did a lot of meat and cheese and ground beef and all that kind of stuff, and like high fat, and then I'd be like super sore like the next day from workouts. Yeah. And then when I slowly started incorporating like a light carb like rice or something, I'm like a little more energy the next day, less muscle soreness too.
That was so the main one. There's multiple reasons. One of the main reasons is like I was never able to put on weight, and I put on a ton of weight for the deadlift, but I also put on like an equal amount of fat, which in most people's eyes is not bad, a 1-to-1 ratio.
You don't like that though.
But it's obviously not optimal, right?
Not for CrossFit.
Well, it's just not optimal for a longevity standpoint. Like I'm force feeding myself a lot of meals like a bodybuilder to maintain that.
Right.
And so when I go low carb, like keto or whatever, then like you said, the workout stuff where I feel weak, Yeah,
you're supposed to stay in a moderate range on keto.
Right? It's like there's like, you can get away with 100 grams of carbs for certain athletes or something.
Yeah. God,
so it just doesn't.
It's good for that's what I'm struggling with for like, if I do a jiu-jitsu tournament, like let's say I do a 3 to 4 month nutrition protocol for myself, I'd want to do the keto for like the initial weight cut. Yeah. But then like my training and recovery goes down in terms of strength. Yeah. So trying to find that balance in between. But for me,
that's why a lot of people are doing carb cycling. So it's keto and then maybe once. And it used to be called carb backloading. Yeah. So it's like all of this stuff's been around. Just like carnivore, it's not like it's new. Yeah. It's like the newest, oldest way of eating, right?
Are doing it. That's Chris Bell says: meat, water, salt.
And that's what I remember Sylvester Stallone said during Rocky, because he's like, we were like brain dead because we haven't had any carbs for like to get that lean.
Ton of testosterone too.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Ton of HGH and ribeyes. My thing is gonna be, I would love to carb cycle, but with my eating habits, like rice, tortillas are a gateway drug. Yeah, it's like tacos, 8 tacos at once, like not even just the meat. So I'm like, I can't even do like a little bit, but I'll maybe, because I liked following programming so much, I should just try programming it for myself. Yeah. Meal, actually writing down like, this is what you're eating, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in between.
It's just more data.
For me, it's discipline. So easy
if you don't have a plan, then you're gonna go off the deep end.
Go off the rails. Yeah. Like, why not grab a taco tonight? And then it's like 8 tacos, and then that's a lot of corn tortillas and and then I'm off keto,
Supposedly the carnivore diet, like you talking about Sean Baker, you're able to perform at a high level and do things that are more like ATP type of workouts or glycolytic workouts. Like he's breaking world records in the row machine. They have little comps and and he swings 176 pound kettlebell for sets of 20, and he deadlifts a lot of weight.
He's got the rowing record.
He's doing and he keeps breaking, like, that's his sport. He's over 50 and
concept rower record. That's what it is.
Concept 2 rower records. Yeah. And so he's competing at those, and he does like looks like some strongman stuff. So there's like high intensity power / conditioning.
I forgot what his athletic background is. He a basketball player? He was a competitive in something like up through like college.
I don't remember.
And then even pro. like
he
a
definitely
semi-pro.
he went to the military, so that's where I don't know the story
Interesting
before.
dude. I like him. Did you watch Joe Rogan and Chris Kresser with well, first they bashed that vegan documentary.
Yeah, that one's going back and forth now. Then they had like them talk about the game changers and why it's inaccurate with their science, and then they had the director or something or the producer of the game changers with Chris Kresser, so they had to debate.
And I heard it went better, and I can't even go back and listen now. And then I saw Joe post. Now I'm gonna delete the other podcast I did with Kresser because
again, it's
I'm like
people. I'm in the carnivore community now because whenever you get connected, like when I was going through the like Square One and cancer diet, with my mom, then I'm connected in that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny that everyone buys into it like religion blindly, and then they don't test it in a sense. So the thing is, I think the problem is people are really, the people that are doing it, they're sick or they want to change something. Like you said, psoriasis, or they have all these other health issues that they want to fix. So they believe in it like wholeheartedly. They want to believe in it. So that's why they stand so firmly on like the stance of like, man, vegan's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Carnivore is the greatest thing in the world.
And he was trying to show vegans could be athletes because like one UFC fighter did it well. I can't watch a documentary. But I couldn't watch a documentary on something I sided with for nutrition either. Because it's just like such absolutist mentality where it's like, dude, just please look at both sides and just know that moderation is going to be your key and discipline.
And the best thing to do is what I've learned and what we talk about on this podcast a lot is just try it. Try 30 days, 60 days, 90
and now
days.
You're gonna keep up with it because it's working for you.
Well, so I'm gonna try. I did the first month because I wanted to. There's a pretty big adaptation phase. They say at least 3 months for fitness, for strength and conditioning and fitness gains, right? Because the health part, I experienced that. There's two folds. One's like you get less anxiety and all this other mental health stuff, bipolar, depression. Essentially, the carnivore diet's the ultimate elimination diet.
Mm-hmm.
You take away everything. And then so now I've gone through that phase and it was actually easy. It went through Thanksgiving. I went through the tough holidays of eating, but now it's the 8 weeks of FixFit concept and now I'm applying it to that.
To strength training?
Yeah, to strength, following a full strength protocol while crossfitting.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it's like, and I experienced that, your muscles like your whole body flushes a lot of the water out because you're not carb dependent anymore. So your muscles look a little more flat, but then supposedly after 3 months, that's when everything starts to kick in and you can gain a lot of muscle mass, maintain it, especially that's what they say. Dr. Sean Baker was like, he's over 50. Mm-hmm. And he's like, that's a big indicator of health, strength.
And drop in testosterone.
Exactly.
And he's like increasing his, I think he said.
And if you get older, you don't want to have less muscle mass because then you have less bone density and you have less quality of life. Who's
the lecture guy that goes on Joe Rogan too? He's a big carnivore component, and his daughter had massive health issues.
Yeah.
And he said, she would even go like I think she would go keto for a bit and like be a lot better, and then like reintroduce something, and she would flare up again. Yeah. And she went carnivore, and it's all gone. Oh God, I'm gonna blank on his name. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
He does a bunch of lectures. He's super smart too. I'm gonna find him.
Yeah. So like the carnivore right now is having that effect where people have tried everything, and it's so out there. Like, I didn't tell anyone I'm doing it unless they kept prying or asking because I'm carrying out, like, a cup of meat,
Yeah.
And then when they say it, everyone's like, oh, my God, please don't do that, or it's so bad for your health and this and that. First of all, it's like, it's that meme I posted that Mark Bell. It's like, no one gave me shit when I was eating cereal, pizza, drinking beer and everything.
Right.
But then now I'm eating steak and butter and, meat. Now everyone's kind of, like, losing their mind, It's such a strange
Dude, you need to go listen to the Joe Rogans then, because he had the daughter on. It's Jordan Peterson. God damn, how can I not remember that name? He's super famous. Jordan Peterson, and then you got to go back and, because he's had him on for his actual books and topics, but then he brought him on like to talk just carnivore diet.
Yeah.
And then he had his daughter on after that, and she tells her story about like, dude, she like bad bouts of depression. Yeah. She introduced like lettuce back into her diet or something.
That's crazy. That was the like couple key things with the carnivore. If you're not familiar to what's different from keto, it's like vegetables are now proven to be bad because of the oxalates and things like that.
Yeah, she was talking about that. So she's like, I'm just gonna take it out.
Because I'm coming from that, earlier in the year, my mom, it's like a bunch of cancer-fighting salads and all this stuff, So it's like now going to be like, well, maybe what's
tough.
affecting me?
How do you feel like it is cost-wise?
It's actually it's the same in my opinion, because I was talking to Andrew about this the other day. I was like, you know what? I think I'm saving a lot of money because we just went to Jalapenos. I got 2 burritos, and then I just gutted it. Right, I just didn't eat the tortillas, and then I was like, telling her right after that, I think I'm saving money because usually a lot of the sides and the extra shit costs is they add up.
When you think about it, a meat plate.
I asked at certain places, but I was just tired. I didn't want to go through that route. Just get 2 burritos and whatever.
Yeah.
And then but it's like you get a side of rice, you get a side of beans, you get whatever, a drink, and you want 3 roll tacos, or you get, at the end of the day, that's like, all that shit's expensive. Yeah. And even eating at home, it's pretty simple. We're eating, we buy the meat that's on sale every week. Mm. The first 4 or 5 days, the first week, I was just trying to do what Sean Baker was doing. It's just I just ate 2 ribeye steaks, 1 at lunch and 1 at dinner, and that was it.
Well, that's why I have now that I have a smoker, I'm going to try to do just smoking meat on a weekend. And then, because you get those big slabs of brisket and tri-tip at Costco, that shit will last you 3-4 days. Yeah. For one person. If you split it with somebody, it's 2, 3. But then you have it ready. It's meal prep. So easy. Yep. Costco's a good little one.
Costco, and that's the thing is, it's people argue should you do it? Is it good for you? Is it bad for you? Ultimately, you can find any science on either way, right? And that's what the whole Game Changers versus keto versus anything. But at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, it's are you at the body composition you're looking for? Yeah. Are you carrying around extra, body fat? Are you healthy? Do you have all these kind of health conditions or whatever? Yeah. And therefore, if you do, something's not working. Yeah. So you should try something else. And not, if I did this and my before and after, I'd gain 20 pounds of fat or something, or I couldn't work out.
But dude, just imagine like that meme.
I would have quit it, just because everyone says carnivore is good. Then right. I would have stopped yesterday.
It ties back to that meme you posted. If you showed up to the gym every morning eating cereal and oatmeal, and by lunchtime you're having Subway, and by dinner time you're eating KFC
or that Chick-fil-A or something. Chick-fil-A. Everyone's like, hell yeah, Chick-fil-A is amazing, bro.
Nobody would say shit to you.
You had 8 tacos? Man, I'm so jealous.
You had In-N-Out today, and they saw you doing that every single day. No one would be like, Mark, you realize you're getting kind of fat or something?
They don't question your health, right?
Nothing.
Because coworkers, or you talk with your friends, you're like, man, I've been stressed. I've been having a beer every night. You're like, cool, man, me too. It's yeah. But you're like, man, I eat a ribeye every night. Dude, you're gonna have a heart attack. Yeah. Bro. Yeah. Bro.
Then you were labeling it a carnivore diet. Now people are gonna be like, oh, what the fuck is Mark up to now? Another diet. It's you're trying something on yourself.
Yeah,
it's for your health.
It's
too.
for there's more of an investment because I have a community of people that I need to test things for anyways. True. But it's the same thing. It's a lot of the things from the book Grain Brain, nutrition has a big deal with mental health, and we've had anxiety episodes and depression, all this stuff. It's maybe it's the shit I'm still eating. Yeah. Maybe eating So that's the thing is if I'm eating buckets of rice every day to maintain my fitness, that might be fine, but it's obviously not the optimal because I'm having more stress.
But nobody would bat an eye at you.
No, because they're like, man, you look so much thicker, you look so much more fit. When I got really thick and big, everyone's like, man, you really look like you work out or whatever. All those weird little comments that are supposed to be a positive, but I'm like, the fuck? But it's true, shirts fit better, I look stronger, Yeah. Didn't have a 6-pack or whatever, but now everyone's
your workouts were down.
But now people are like, man, you look are you okay? How much weight have you lost? They're fearful for my life. But when I had a power belly, everyone thought high fives and true. You're doing cool shit, so you must be
they grab your arms. Oh, you're so strong.
And now it's oh my god, you look so lean. It's unhealthy. What
man, the fuck? Society's weird.
It is weird. So that's why again, don't never follow anything That's the same thing we said in the Fix Fit Concept seminar. Like, don't even listen to us. I'm telling you something right now in the seminar. You're going to test it. You're going to videotape it. You're going to feel it. Mm-hmm. And if it's not different and you don't understand it, then it's wrong. Don't listen to anything.
Just think, like, if that carnivore diet is helping, like, something like anxiety or
bipolar, depression, everyone's having
levels,
those results, I guess.
Your energy levels of, like, being productive and there's no way to track that. You know what I mean? And nobody will know because nobody knows the opposite.
That's why
you are experiencing.
That's a good point, because for us, we're like, for FixFit, you have to first be aware of how you're moving, how you're feeling.
Right.
Which no one talks about. When you start doing a workout with squats, they just say knees out, you know.
Right.
You focus on the reps and the weights.
Right.
But like nutrition, if you follow a program for 12 weeks of nutrition, following all the rules, but you're not internally looking at like those things to kind of gauge like, oh man, I'm more energetic.
Because I was going to say for you, if you did that carnivore through these past 30 days, how much time have you spent at a computer doing the programming, posting?
It's a bunch of stress.
In the past year, this past 30 days?
Yeah.
Compare like how much computer time you've done in the past year. I feel like if you weren't doing a certain diet that wasn't like an external factor for your mental health of sitting at a computer fucking stressed, busy and shit. And it's the holidays right now. And you're getting through it.
Exactly.
Without a breakdown.
Yeah, and exactly.
Or
and
quitting or wanting to do something.
Because usually coping is food for me.
Right.
I think everyone does that to some degree.
Yeah.
But for me especially,
yeah.
I'm like, I need to go eat some Mexican food every night or whatever, like and drink every night, whatever, because I need to come down off of that, because I don't want to go crazy, right?
Or the feeling of like you need a reward at the end of all of that.
Yeah.
But I've been by your side a lot through this, so it's just watching you chug along instead of like, fuck man, I need a couple days off.
The roller coaster, right? The ups and downs is like too high and then the drop.
Right. There's just been a steady climb for you the whole time, so that's another testament to trying to clean up your diet, what it can do. Because you don't even think about that kind of shit. I think also we should factor in the Wim Hof breathing that we've been doing, because our little group that we've been sampling it with, everybody's just coming up
posting
with
shit,
like, fuck dude, this is crazy. Like, we were talking last night, pushing sleds around. It's not freezing outside, but it's, like probably like 50 degrees, and like in between sets I'm like, this air is thin and cold, worked all day, fucking slept bad last night, trying to regain my breath with thoughts of like the seminar, sitting in that ice bucket going, oh god, I can't breathe, what the hell is going on? Translating that into a workout, it was hard, it was fucking challenging.
Yeah. But
I slept like a baby last night, dude. Like, I think I woke up in a pile of drool. And I felt great this morning too, like sinus wise. Like, people are clearing their sinuses a lot, we're seeing. Like it's head cold season right now. And everybody's been saying like they're clearing up their face, they're like feeling a lot better throughout the day. No one's getting sick.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, you look, because we did 10 rounds of sled intervals, 40 yards, and so usually that gives people a workout anxiety or panic.
I get panic in the middle of it.
Because after 4 rounds, you're like, fuck, I got 6 more rounds. I can't breathe, my legs hurt. I don't want to look like a bitch in front of everyone and just stop, like everyone gets that kind of workout anxiety.
Yeah.
But like, you didn't, yes, it started burning. I looked over at you, you're like, no, I'm good. And it, like only at round 9 or 10, which is obvious, you get tired.
Yeah.
But
that's
before,
when I finally
it's like,
felt it.
The Wim Hof thing has been helpful for everyone that's been in our crew to take it. And what helped me out, I wanted to talk about in the workshop and follow-up podcast last episode, and I forgot, but the workshop was huge for us, especially for me. I'm about to do 4 hours of teaching our first FixFit Concepts workshop.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We've been prepping. I've been working, seems like 12-hour days, and there's like, this isn't just our people. We have different like coaches from other gyms. We have people that have never worked out at our gym, so it's like extra anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're getting 2 cameras on you.
And then people are videoing, and it's like, holy crap! I'm doing an assessment of 25 different people, whatever, like at once. So I tested the benefit of the Wim Hof is that you can prep, use it like preemptive, So I did the breathing. And then I had zero anxiety, like leading. You know how when you start to step on the floor, you bring everyone together, that's like it's the worst? I felt nothing. And I felt, because I was so calm, I was able to articulate what I was trying to say. So I felt like it flowed well. I didn't go, wait, what was I saying?
No. I did it that morning as well because I didn't know we talked about what my role should be at the seminar, but I was like, still at the same time, I'm like, Mark's going to be saying a lot.
Yeah.
He's got so much shit to cram into 4 hours.
Yeah.
And you're staring at the clock and you're looking at everybody. And I was like, you know what my role is going to be is just make sure Mark stays on task, and then to walk around and make sure the people that are already doing it or are aware of what they're doing, one, have like a certain different look at what they're doing, and that was helpful.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of good feedback from them on that, so that helped me be able to, help this whole program. And then 2, going up to people that had no idea what the hell they were doing and asking them what they're feeling, and like, but every time I told Marie this too, I was all, man, I didn't know what, like, I didn't want to talk to, because you were already talking a lot. So I was like, if I come in here and go like, guys, hip capsule, shoulder, fucking over their heads, it's not my population.
Yeah.
If this was like 12 CrossFit coaches, I would want to chime in on a shoulder injury to look out for.
The case studies, right? Yeah.
Right. Like, let me tell you that. Like, look out for this, and more nerdy stuff. But I was like, someone that's no idea what they're doing. They got athletes that are just like, just give us the shit so we can try this, That wasn't my population to add on to what you were saying,
And that's the unknown for you, like for both of us, even though you're not doing the talking, but that's where like we should have had more anxiety that
Yes.
day.
Like,
I should have had
the
a
night
lot
before
more.
had that of like,
of course,
what am I going to do? What am I going to do?
Because we don't know how the structure, the back and forth, or how they respond. What if all of them were like, look at us like, I don't get it.
Right.
It's like there's so much unknown. And
so much.
The unknown is what causes the anxiety.
Exactly. But did Wim Hof that morning, and I was just so clear the whole time, going like, this is going good, this is flowing. And then every time I came up to you, this is what I was telling you. I was like, I go up to Mark and be like, hey, are we gonna do this next, and then this next? And you were like, yes. And then you like give me this look like I fucking got this. Moving on to this now, and I'm like, all right, he's good, he's on task, man. I was like, all right, let me back up. So I was like, that was fucking dope. Like, just the back and forth of what was happening. But I feel like same thing. Like, if we didn't lower our energy or spike our adrenaline already in the morning, spike it in front of 20 people that we all different kinds of levels, like, that's not the place to do it.
It was trippy because, like, my story with anxiety, it's like it's hard to control that. I get nervous going around the room saying, hey, introduce yourself, that simple. So to have that big of an event for us, and that many
first time it was self-assess.
It was seriously, because Miles, the person that runs the Wim Hof for us, right, Miles Lucas, shout out to him, but he was on a big stage competing at one of those big jiu-jitsu comps,
right,
where there's lights, you walk down a ramp, thousands of people staring at you. And when he said it, he was like, man, it was surreal. It's like I could see people's faces. I was not nervous at all. And so hearing the story is one thing, but then when I experienced it Sunday, I was like, wow, this is fucking trippy.
It is trippy.
This is weird. Like, I'm standing, like, I'm just flowing and doing I'm being optimal with my presentation.
That's a great way to put it, that you just flow. Like, I wouldn't go like, what should I do next? I'm not doing anything. It was just like, oh, I'm going to go over here and talk to them. Oh, I'm going to go over here. Well, let me check on Mark. And, like, I just flowed around the room the whole time with never worrying.
Yeah, you're not running around with your head cut off. Like, or that's like, usually the...
let me
that's when you're scared, right? Or nervous. When you're nervous, you can see it. People can feel the energy of...
Yeah, and you could say something like, where you just, like, where people are looking at you like, is this guy just saying that just to hear himself? Like, you don't want to sound like that. I never felt that the whole 4 hours. I was like, this is great.
It's nerve-wracking for me, too, because, like, when I do an assessment, I know the steps that I need to go through, and that's on a one-on-one, so it's easier. But that whole workshop, I had the kind of timeline or bullet points, but I had 0 things written down.
Yeah.
So all 4 hours was essentially an improv, or,
Here's another one.
Go.
We kept saying after we went out to lunch after, and we were like, man, we're going to go home and have an energy dump.
Yeah.
I don't think we did.
No.
I didn't. And I think I talked to you the next day, and you were like, I just chilled at home a bit, but you weren't like, normally, like after Barbells for Boobs, let's say, I go home and just crash. Like, damn, do all the prep the night before, this and that, the cleanup.
The cool thing is, since you brought it up too, is like, so I used the Wim Hof to preempt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before the workshop, before the presentation, when people get, nervous.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Monday or Tuesday when I'm like, holy crap, I have all this work I kind of put off for CrossFit Sun. I have babies, causing a ruckus, and then I have all these videos I have to edit, and it was like, so my anxiety, you don't realize it, but at like midday, I'm sitting there like, oh fuck, I feel the anxiety come up again, right? Because out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So then I
do another round.
Yeah, I did rounds of breathing. So it's like, okay, you can use the Wim Hof to, if you have a big presentation, if you have a big event or a big workout, whatever. That's before. And now the same techniques I can apply it when it's too late, like when you're kind of fucked, like during the workout, when you're like, you're at your red line and you're freaking out. It's kind of cool to have both sides of it, The
way I see it is just that forceful meditation. And it's like, I'm so jealous of people that can just actually just sit down and meditate and get into a mindset that quick. But I'm like, we need the rep scheme, the timing on our phone, with the Wim Hof. So, because I was telling you too, like, I went and did acupuncture and I was like 20-30 minutes even. I was like, damn dude, usually when I do that I'm a fucking zombie afterwards, right? And I'm like, I can't work out, I can't even make dinner that night. I'm like, piece of crap. I got into a meditative state quick without doing any Wim Hof. I did Wim Hof that morning. It's like evening time getting acupuncture. Meditation, like right away, went and worked out after. That was the sled day. And it's like, what?
I think it's because we finally got into that state that no one can get into.
Yeah.
Because most people are already in their head. So if you tell someone to sit around for 20 minutes and not think, to be present, it's like, it's impossible. But since we're doing something to actually trigger the chemical changes, like what Miles talks about, you feel the difference. You can't deny that.
I think
sitting in a corner in a dark room for 20 minutes and did I meditate or not? It's like, dude, that's not working.
That's why, but then, like, if the acupuncture forces me into it, and then I'm a fucking zombie after.
And
because I depleted myself.
And what the being in that, coming out of, like, the meditative state now, you know what that feels like. Coming out of the ice bath, you know what it feels like.
Right.
So you're like, I'm there,
able to get into that, transition into that zone quicker.
Yeah.
Which is like, maybe the Wim Hof's teaching me that, which is fucking awesome because it's only been like not even a month probably of doing it every day. But just super happy about that.
It's kind of cool because like, this is what we do, and we've talked about, these miscellaneous coffee episodes like this one.
Yeah.
Is that it's fun because we're trying to fix all these problems.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to Hinato again. It's like, he's like, how would you apply it to this? It's like, the idea is just to find the problem, and then we're going to keep working at it. So now, like, even we're doing a FixFit Concepts workout program, but we're integrating the Wim Hof stuff throughout the process, and nutrition and breathing while, because I want to add that in maybe week 3 or 4, like when you're doing the Activate warm-up movement. It's like, don't hold your breath, because during the workshop, some people are like, man, are you kind of lightheaded? Are you lightheaded? They're flexing and they're holding their breath.
They come up and their faces were beet red.
And like, I get that we're trying to turn on the muscles, but you need oxygen.
And forcing the shit out of it,
So it's kind of cool because it's like, this is what we do.
We're going to pair it together one day. It'll be freaking awesome.
And that's that. I guess this would be the nutrition health episode. It's kind of like the techniques we learned from Wim Hof is universal. And that's what I'm kind of dabbling with, trying to find a universal template for nutrition.
It's funny, I really want like a yogi or like a super meditative person to listen to us talk of like this kindergarten level of meditation science that we're talking. They're probably gonna be like,
that's
barely dipping into it right now.
But what's kind of cool is like, that's a fucking excellent point, because what we're trying to do is simplify it, because the majority of people are like us.
Right.
So yes, if you have someone that's a fucking guru of yoga, meditation, and all that, when they try to articulate it to the masses,
I'm out. I don't want it.
That's why it's not working. Yep. And same thing with the work we're doing with FixFit, right? Yeah. It's so true. Yeah, like when I teach a seminar, if someone came in, they'll get the concepts that we're doing, but it's very little anatomy, kinesiology, like physical therapy type stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But that's important because we're trying to help the masses.
I'm trying to translate it to the masses.
I'm not trying to teach a PT student something about how the body works.
Two different populations.
Exactly. So it's okay. It's even better that if someone looked.
But we're just like barely cracking that surface.
But that's good, because if you're thinking about trying Carnivore or trying FixFit or trying, the breathing, we don't need to know shit about what our diaphragm's doing and all that. We're getting the results. just like the people are getting the results
with our elementary education.
Yeah,
seriously.
I was like, hey, do you feel it? Do you feel your butt on when you squat or your core?
Yeah,
I don't have to define it.
That's enough.
Yeah. At least you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
But they're already getting the results, so they don't have to study, and go.
I don't know, man. Maybe in a year from now we'll be microdosing mushrooms and we'll be on this podcast going, we have a shaman now, dude.
Bro.
We're working with.
Yeah.
We got a shaman now, dude, and my anxiety levels have never been so low because of this.
Not afraid to try it.
This mind warp I went through last weekend. Yeah, but hey, that's a good little shout out to wrap this up to Miles Lucas, January 19th, CrossFit Sun.
Everyone so this is our process with it. It fell into our laps. They were looking for Miles last minute for a spot, and we're like, cool. So it was just like the coaches and Hoadley, right? So DJ, Leslie, and I, and then Hoadley attended. It was so good that like the second one we had 8 or 9 CFS people.
Yeah.
And then everyone that's taking it, even like Hinata from Flood, you're like, I can't wait to bring.
I can't wait. I already signed up today for round 2.
And certain people are like, are you guys hosting more? And these are random people I've never met. They're like, I know X. They're naming off people. I think these people can use it. I was like, I don't even know who you're talking about, but that's the power of it. It's like
it's the best.
I don't even want to when I posted up saying, hey, we're running another one. It's as you experienced it, it's actually an experience. Mm-hmm. So when you go to a workshop, you're there to learn, right? It's like ABCs.
Yeah.
I'm learning how to do blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But when you go through it and the high you get from going through the rounds of breathing and then this conquering the fear of the ice bath, coming out and doing it with a big group.
Took at least 30 days now of practicing it because it only takes 10 to 15 minutes to practice on your own.
Yeah, easy.
Like I told you, there's bad ways I did it, good ways I did it, that I'm fine tuning because you personalize it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to go back and try it again, and then when Miles gets it up high for me, I'm gonna be like, that's what I'm missing. I could fine tune it that way and practice it in the bath again if I want. But
that because we didn't know what to expect. DJ, Leslie, and I were like, this is our second time taking it. It's the same workshop. Yep. Is it just gonna be we're just here to support?
I remember that too. Yeah, you guys.
All 3 of us, and we've been sharing with the group. Dude, the second time is way better.
You guys said it before the seminar was over.
Yeah,
you were halfway through.
We're this is amazing.
This is so much better the second time. So much better.
I got so much. It was the retention. We got
to look for now.
We got to 2 minutes or something. I think Leslie and I got to 3 or 4 minutes of holding your breath.
Yeah, the first round.
I was like, what the hell?
The first round I ever did, I thought I was gonna have a panic attack.
Yeah, because you don't even know what to expect.
It felt like a panic attack, and then it went away. It was like panic attack, and then it was gone. And then I was like, wait, what the fuck is happening right now? And then he forced me to do 3 more rounds after that, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Yeah. I'm out of my body, and then we stand up, walk around after, and I'm like a fucking zombie. Yeah. See that? That's the true. That's how I guess maybe how it used to be for me, where I'd be even on my own when I did it for the first couple weeks, I'd be kind of tired after, and I'm just now getting into a state where it's giving me a little bit of energy. Well, but it's taking me a long time.
You, Evelyn, and I talk about this is we're always on the go, business owners, and our mind's going, and then after you're like, man, why am I so hungry? Why am I so hungry?
That's been down too, actually.
But in the beginning, it's you finally got to that parasympathetic state, which is what they call rest and digest state, and so it's the first time your body was able to zombie out.
I'd just be starving after.
Yeah, you're your body's finally ready to eat food or digest it.
Yep. I feel because I do it in the mornings now, and I've been doing it after I eat, so it's kind of nice coming to work and not being I'm fucking starving still, But lunch and dinners have been massively warranted feeling, and I'm wondering if that's it, but.
It's cool because you should want a meal, but you said, the snacking, the hunger, and to nerd out a little, it's what brings you down from the parasympathetic state is you need the sugars, you need the carbs to bring you down. Mm-hmm. The counter, it's the balance. So that's why once you get rid of, you're not always fucking flipping out all day long. You don't have those cravings as much.
Right. Man, it's so good. So January 19th, early bird ends probably
19th of December.
19th of December. I don't know when this podcast is going to drop, so
they'll have a couple days, maybe.
A couple days, maybe, but also there's only 25 people capped.
Yeah.
And like you said, the last time was probably in the 20s.
They both have been in the 20s.
Both have been in the 20s, so
get your spot. And
I signed up, so I already took a spot, but it's so fucking awesome. So I know a lot of people said they were interested, but you got to sign up ASAP.
I think what helps too is whatever it is, that's the resources, right? the people you know, like even us, if you have questions about the Wim Hof, whether you're just a exerciser or a coach, or if you're listening, like ask us about it. We could tell you how we've been applying it, the ins and outs. Same with if people have questions on the carnivore diet, feel free to ask me. I'm not. I'll give you all the goods and the bads.
Don't ask me. Come on, Billy.
I'll give you all the good and the bad.
Ask the guy with the 6-pack, not me. All right, man. Thanks for listening.